Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. I am Greg McDaniel. The Matt Johnson is 30,000 feet up in the air and has relinquished controls to me yet again. Oh, my Lord, he is probably cringing in his airplane seat right now, but I don't care because you know what? We have got an amazing guest with us today, guys. And this guy, I'll tell you one thing, before I bring our guest in, I'm going to just brag about him a little bit. He's like me a little bit in regards to he's been in the business. He's a 13-year veteran. He focuses in the Tacoma, Washington market, and he works a lot with lakefront properties. Now, our guest today is Chad Hauer. Chad, welcome to our show. I'm so excited to have you here. Our pre-show conversation was awesome, and I think that you're going to be able to just make it rain and help people understand. One thing, waterfront properties are kind of more or less of a niche market, and also what you love to do and what you have a passion for is something that I have a passion for as well, but I don't do as well as you. So I'm going to be taking notes just like everybody else when they're watching this show. But you know what? Hey, Chad, welcome, buddy.
Thanks. It's good to be here. Appreciate it.
Oh man, it is so good to be here. I'm going to do a couple quick shout outs here really quickly. One to Viral Marketing. Thank you guys at Viral for making this podcast happen, for putting a few bucks in our pocket, making all the back end work be able to take place. Without you guys, we wouldn't really be able to do it if I could talk today. My God, it's a Friday when I stumble over words that are simple. But thank you guys. It's much appreciated. Guys, if you want to see more what Viral does, guys, you can go to Greg's Marketing Systems and you guys can take a look at what they do for me, my marketing blog as well. So just email me on this video cast and you guys can get a link back to those things. All right. Well, thanks to that. So, Chad, what do you say, man? You want to jump in? Do you want to do a question? Maybe a little bit in regards to from one of our people over on the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections Facebook page?
Yeah, that sounds good. Hit me with whatever you got.
Okay, so I got a question here. Let's see here. It's from Mike. I think it's Mike Strong, if he's spelling that right, if that's his actual real name. He's asking, actually pertains exactly to what we're talking about today in regards to working with referral businesses. He says, I'm just starting in the business, and I've been told that a referral business is the easiest way to go. If and when I start this, where should I start? So, what is your answer, my friend?
Yeah, I think kind of real estate 101, right? When you get into it, you'll hear it from most people. The very first thing I would recommend is work on your database. Who are all the people you can possibly think of that you know in the area? Make sure that you get that to at least 100 people. There's no reason that somebody shouldn't be able to come up with a list of 100 people. You might have to stretch and think, okay, who's my barber? Where do I go? My favorite restaurant? Who are the people there? Banker, whatever it might be. Really focus on those key relationships too. People like CPAs, bankers, attorneys, financial planners that are going to be having regular sit downs, one-on-ones with people are a great way to really focus on those relationships. So to sum that up, to answer Mike's question, focus on making a database of at least 100, and within that, identify who are your top 50 people that are like your favorite. These are the most likely people to refer me, people I'd enjoy socializing with, and just really focus on putting a lot of love and attention on those people and being deliberate with it.
Great answer. A lot of us have heard that answer, but none of us really put it into work. So let me throw another one at you, one that I'm love to kind of get out there, because a lot of folks say, well, gosh, I hear this all the time, but what if I have a really small sphere of influence? What if I'm a complete hermit like Matt Johnson and never gets out of his house? What are some recommendations? He's going to kill me for that. What are some recommendations that you have to grow your sphere that people could put into action, maybe for low cost or no cost?
Yeah, well, I'll give you an example. What I did when I was starting out 13 years ago, I started what I refer to as my free client care program. And so it was calling the people that I did know and saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know about this free concierge program. If you ever have any needs around the house, whether it be needing a good yard crew or furnace servicing company, roof cleaner, window washer, whatever it might be, feel free to use me as a resource. I've got a great list of people I'd be more than happy to share with you. And then on the back end of that, you're also building your database because you're making sure that you're having those one-on-one meetings with those good vendors that have good experience and customer service in those different fields. And then you continue to follow up with the vendor side of it too, to say, hey, do you have any new promotions or anything like that that I can help support and build your business? um, and just continue to make those calls to the people that you do have, even if you start with a very limited knowledge of people. And you can offer that free service at an open house. Say, if you'd like to be included in this, go ahead and write down your info here in the sign in information. I'll send you some more information about it. And then asking people, I've been making those calls for years, and a lot of times people say, "Oh, so appreciate." They always call me when they have whatever random need, and great time to say, "Hey, who else do you know that might appreciate this free service?" And they'll tell you their friends, family, whoever that might have a need, and you're just becoming that go-to person in the community for whenever anybody has any kind of random need, not just real estate specific. And it's a good way to become the main point of contact.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. That's for building vendor sites. What I've been told many times, and what I've been doing more and more. Yes, is it hard to always do it? Of course, it is always hard to do it. But I try to go out and I try to hand out one of these guys, one of my business cards, out to folks. I was mentored a long time ago by a guy named Dick Ward, and he moved into the Midwest, where Matt moved out of, and didn't know anybody. He just got married right out of the war. He didn't know what to do. So we went and handed out 25 business cards every single day. And I got to thinking, with social media and with our sphere that's able to grow so quickly when you're being out in social media, but our social media is shutting down us being social, right? Because we're so eager to hide behind one of these things versus going out and meeting someone. So I would recommend, and Chad, concur with me, please, on this. Go down to local Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Pete's Coffee, whatever is going to be, your flavor, right? Go into there and sit down for an hour and a half to an hour and just, start talking and meeting people. Take these things, earbuds out of your ears, and go be social and actually be able to have a conversation with another human being about anything in life. Then give them your card. Have the balls to hand them your card, and it will radically transform your business. We had a guy named Josh Bryan who is a fan of the show, and he went out and it took him 3 days of doing that, and he built his sphere of influence, to the point where he got a buyer who closed above his listing price and average price in his area, and he got referred another buyer that's even higher. So, I mean, what about you? Have you tried that maybe with you or your team, Chad?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for that. Just putting yourself out there, whether it's if you're going to be doing your work from an open house for the day, at least put yourself in a position where people are going to be walking in and working from the coffee shop. Totally,
Yeah,
I agree 100% with that.
Absolutely. Good answers, man. Good answers. I know they're going to get a ton of value from that stuff. Let me do this. I got a couple of shout outs, but first things first, I want to get you guys, and I'm going to put a new segment in the show. Matt doesn't know this yet. So surprise, Matt, when you're doing this for the show notes. He's probably going, oh shit, what is he doing? So this is what it is, guys. I'm going to start giving little war stories about what I'm with me being in the trenches, every single day, insights into what happens with real estate agents on a daily basis. So here's an example of what I went through the other day. So I'm doing on lead follow-up, right? I got my title sheets and I'm calling all these leads and follow up with them. And, it was an online lead, and it seemed to be like a super good lead. Talked to the husband, and he was like, oh yeah, if you can get 800 for us, no problem. We'll think about making a move, and we're gonna move up to Portland, Oregon or some shit. I'm like, awesome, so cool. Like I ran my numbers, I did my CMA. They can get anywhere from 8 to 825 based on the exact home comps last 30 days. Like, perfect scenario, right? So I call him back yesterday. I'm like, hey, his name is Dick, and he is a dick. But I'm like, hey, Dick, it's Greg, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. And so he proceeded to tell me, my wife doesn't want to deal with you at all. I'm like, okay, so what happened? He's like, well, you and her got into an email battle last year, and she got really offended by it. I'm like, either this guy's fucking psychotic, or something, there's a screw loose somewhere. So I just got on my computer, I got into it, and I looked into it. This fucking bitch, she yells at me for having an autoresponder you know, and I responded back to her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bother you, you know, whatever we can do to help. And she just basically gave me the big finger over the email. And they were so rude. It was unbelievable after I put all that work in. I mean, do you have a war story like that, Chad? Yeah, I'm sure all of us do. All of us do. When you do some good work and all of a sudden they turn out to be pricks.
Yeah, there's actually so funny.
We
I think this is I don't know if you can read this document, but this
yeah.
I think this is something I shared with my team a couple months ago. It's really helpful just to know going into it that we're not going to win them all. There's going to be people out there that are just jerks. You've got 25% of all potential customers are fun but hopeless. They're nice people but can't afford your product or service, or they don't qualify for your product or service. You've got the next 25% of potential people don't trust anyone. They don't trust others, and they're not going to start with you. They're never satisfied, and they complain a lot. So again, bottom 50% of people, we don't want to focus a lot of their time. You just got to have a mentality of, okay, next. It's bound to happen. Up from there, you've got 30% of all clients are good clients. They really like your business. They refer your business to some people, and they rarely complain. And then 70% of what we want our focus to be on is going to be that 20% of all clients, which are raving fans. They love your business. They refer your business to everyone, and they never complain. So just knowing that it's bound to happen, no matter how good and caring you are, there's going to be people that are just rude and not going to be a joy to work with.
Yeah.
Just accept it and move on. Don't try to bend over backwards to win them over, because it's not going to happen.
Don't dwell on the dickheads is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we get that clear. And it's so true, though. I mean, I've had to deal with pricks for a while, but hey, it is what it is. But you know what? This is when we come in for all you happy people out there. Guys, look at all these. Look, yeah, chicken scratch. Don't look. Never mind. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to blow through these as quickly as possible. They've been a buildup for all week. I know I'm missing people, but it is what it's going to be. All right, Chad, you ready? Here we go. Speed time. Shout out to all you guys, amazing human beings. Tyler, who I talked to on Facebook Messenger, works in rural areas. I think we hopefully got a workaround, got him booked for the McDaniel Challenge. So good to have you on, man. Jamie, up in not British Columbia, Europe and Canada, dude. Super cool to talk to you. It was awesome to chat with you over the message thing. And yes, my phone does work. I actually do pick up and call people. He was like, whoa, this is Greg McDaniel. I'm like, yeah, dude, you messaged me. So, hey, man, great to talk to you. Really blessed. Michael in New York, good to talk to you on Friday as well. Let's see here. Hank, Facebook message, loves what we're doing. And I'm appreciative, Hank, that you are taking notice of us, buddy. Jason, question about the dialer. So, you know, a triple line dialer. So I hope that answered all your questions as well. Rick Edler, you pimp, man. So glad to hear from you from Southern California. Guys, Rick Edler is a top producing agent in Palos Verdes. I used to live in Palos Verdes when I went to college, or, and you know, sometimes attended classes, basically just partied. Jose, Long Beach, very kind message, man. Super touching, man. I'm more than humbled that, you know, our conversations have been a benefit to you, and I look forward to having more of them with you guys. Brian, up in Oregon, new agent. Can't talk to him. He's a truck driver now, but he is going to be getting in the business. Cannot wait. Travis out of Canada, McDaniel Challenge. Boom, man. It cannot wait. Jamie, McDaniel Challenge got you booked up. Orthon's Group on YouTube, loves what we're doing, loves the content. Nice. Nick, had a nice referral for a guest. So Nick, I need you to reach out to me and get me that guest that you were talking about. Whew, man, we ran through that in record time. You guys are all amazing. Keep it up. Hold on, I can't not give my last shout out, otherwise it would just be rude. But we had the McDaniel Challenge last night, and I just had an incredible guest. You know, we were able to talk. It was Rachel Meyer. She's out of Florida, young gal. And I just see incredibly bright things for her future in this business. So amazing, guys. Keep reaching out to me. If you guys are listening to this now that we're in the middle of our show, you know, subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher, and follow us on YouTube. I always get that wrong. Matt is always like, Greg, there's no such thing as YouTube. I'm like, But Chad, dude, we got to talk about you. All right. So Tell me a little, give me the 60-second, elevator speech and give me your background. Let people know a little bit who you are.
Yeah. First, I don't know if it's my internet connection or if your mic might be coming unplugged, but it's a little gargly on my end.
Yep, I hear the same on mine. It could be just the internet.
Okay. So your question was a little background on me?
Yeah, give me a little bit of a background on you. Give me your 60-second bio. Let people know about you.
So I'm born and raised in Tacoma, Washington. I knew my whole life. My dad just retired a couple years back from being a realtor for 42 years. And I knew my entire life the one thing I didn't want to do was be a realtor. So I had that going for me because I saw how crazy my dad's life was, and he was always at work and busy, and he specialized in the bank-owned side of things. And I just said, no way, I wanted to be a firefighter. So I went through the fire academy, got my associates in fire science, and then my dad convinced me one summer early on in college to just get my license and help him. So I was doing assistant work for him. And then the more I started doing firefighting and real estate at the same time, the more I realized firefighting wasn't really for me after I thought it was all growing up, and real estate really was a good fit. And I was able to really, use my entrepreneurial spirit and, be my own boss. And it was really cool. And I decided to go a totally different direction than what my dad did in the bank owned. I'm much more the traditional relational type of business and real estate, and can't stand the bank owned side of it. So everyone thought I was crazy for not taking over my dad's business because he had built this great business. But I'm thrilled that I didn't. And I think it's pretty cool. My dad would agree that it's cool to see the success I've been able to have going in my own direction with it, and it's been really fulfilling.
Dude, you and I are living different, same life in different locations. My father is still working with our team as our senior partner, but he has been in it for 43 or 44 years now. And just like you, I'm like, to hell with real estate. That's what Dad does. No way. That's not a real business. And I was going to go down and be a movie star in Hollywood. Yep, this is still Danville. Nope, never made it down to Hollywood. But it's amazing how life changes for you a little bit, right? And the directions that you choose. So you said that you didn't follow your father's path in regards to the bank on sales, which, by the way, though, dude, those blow. I mean, God, I hate banks, on multiple different levels. But sorry to all the lenders that are watching. But what direction did you go in? What do you specialize in?
Yeah, so my couple different things. Really, like the relational aspect, just working within my database and creating a referral network business. And then also, so that's a big pillar. And then also a lakefront community here in the state of Washington, Mason Lake, which is about an hour away from my direct market center. But it's been really fun. So I've got the majority market share on a lake known as Mason Lake in the area, and put on a big fireworks show there on the 3rd of July every year, and it's been really fun just getting involved. And it really wasn't even a purposeful deal. It just, by default, I ended up becoming the go-to expert there by coming from contribution and putting on this big fireworks show and rallying the whole community around the lake to donate so that we could have this great show. And we'd sell t-shirts and sweatshirts and things like that to help raise money. So it was custom Mason Lake gear every year that people would buy, and just things like that forced me to get out there and, just like what you were talking about, go do your work in the coffee shop or whatever, forced me to, rather than just sitting in my office and not doing anything, it forced me to be active, because I knew at the end of the day, I didn't want to be responsible for writing a $25,000 check for this fireworks show. I needed to bless my butt to get out there and find people that were willing to help me make this thing happen.
25 grand? That is a hefty amount, my friend.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, that's probably covering all the fireworks. All the fireworks, the whole shebang, right?
Yeah, we'd have a floating barge, and we'd have to get the fire marshal out there and permits to the county. And
wow, you're not messing around. I love that. Now, why'd you do it on the 3rd?
The 3rd, it had been a tradition before, my whole childhood when I didn't go, it's a recreational lake, so most people don't live there full time. It's just kind of a summer and weekends sort of place. And my whole childhood going out there, there was a family that had done it on the 3rd of July. Their son was a professional power technician, and they eventually got to the age where they said, we're tired of doing it. We want to go off to Hawaii. So there was one summer that it just didn't happen. And it was like, oh, all these great memories I had growing up were now, like, it was sad to see it not continue on anymore. So I just carried it on the 3rd. And what I love about it always being on the 3rd is you're not competing with everybody else's schedules on the 4th of July. Everybody just kind of knows, hey, it's the 3rd of July. Let's all go out, family and friends, go out for the big show on the 3rd. And then they can go do whatever they want on the 4th. Everyone else has plans.
That is awesome. Genius way. Again, looking at a way to build, more referrals, more business from something that's a little bit outside the box. Going back to your database really quickly, I want to touch base on this. Everyone asked me this, and I want to ask you as well. You mentioned that one of your primary sources for working your sphere of influence for your referral-based business was your database. So what is that magic button? What is that secret sauce? What is that system that you're using to stay up with your database in a good, efficient manner?
Yeah, I'll start with the simplest, most cost-effective first, which is I started very early on in my career of just making a point. I had read the statistic that people only remember things for 45 days, and then it's just out of mind. So I said, okay, I got to make a point to be calling, emailing, some form of communication with my database once every 45 days, like one-on-one, not just a mass email. So I was, obviously my database has grown to the point where I can't keep up at that rate anymore. But so that's where you have to kind of compartmentalize who are those prime people that I want to make sure I'm making that time for. But so I would just call everybody in my database every 45 days, make sure I was staying in front of them. And it would be through that client care program that I was telling you about. Hey, I just wanted to check in. How's everything going? How's life? And kind of go through the frog principles. And then any needs that I can be of assistance with you through our free concierge service, happy to be a resource. Just a real simple call like that, doesn't cost any money, just making sure that I'm staying in front and just being consistent with that. Usually the first 3 times or so that I did that, people would forget about it in the first place, which I think just goes to show the importance of consistency. And they're like, what program? I'm not sure what's this client care program? We've talked about this before. And then after that, it starts to stick and they'd be like, wow, that's so cool that you do that. I really appreciate you following up. Like, we're not even selling our house and you have that level of service. I can't imagine what it would be like if we were selling our house. So the consistency is huge. So that's really cost effective, just time and commitment.
You calendar that out, I'm assuming, right? You have some sort of a reminder that pops up. Do you use anything like contactually or anything on things along those lines so that you don't let things fall between the cracks?
So right now I've been using Top Producer for years. And then also just an Excel spreadsheet in addition to Top Producer for a couple different things. But when I started out, just to go bare bones basic and super cost effective too, I used a 3-ring binder, and I just each person in my database had their own page, and it was as simple as that. So I put them on a paper calendar, and they would be, so the first person in my database I would call them advocates, so it would be A1. And so I'd put on a paper calendar A1, and then 45 days later I'd move A1 to on the calendar 45 days later, and then there'd be a spot where I could take notes on that sheet of paper. So it was super old school and free, and it worked for me just getting started. Didn't cost anything. Now obviously I don't continue to use that program, but
You just use random sticky notes anymore?
No. So yeah, it doesn't have to be. I think some people freak out and spend so much time just trying to figure out what's the best database program software to use and everything, and don't just get to the most important part, which is just get out there and start making the calls.
Yeah, just get out your freaking ass and go meet someone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those.
That was the most basic part of it, and then as it would grow and I'd get clients in place, then I was able to start do doing more like client appreciation. So we do quarterly client appreciation events. Like a couple months ago, we had our Rainier's baseball game. We had everybody out and reserve the party deck, and just free things like that, sending videos. I work with Viral as well. I definitely endorse Viral. They do a great job. So we'll use that to get the word out about that sort of thing, as well as Bomb Bomb. Great way to just shoot a quick video and send it out to your database, inviting them to any kind of a client appreciation event. We do pie giveaways for Thanksgiving. A mastermind event is also a big thing that I've been doing for the last several years, once a quarter. So when we're talking about that vendor side of it, getting all the local businesses here in the area, whether it's the business owner or maybe a sales representative for that business, bring them in. I hosted at a local hotel here in Gig Harbor, Washington, and once a quarter we just go over a book that I found to be helpful. Everybody else doesn't have to read it. I read it, and I know that I'll pick a book that I know applies to all different industries, not just real estate, and we'll kind of go into it, and it'll be about a 2-hour long meeting. Talk about the high points. This is what I've taken away from it. Based on your individual experiences, what are your thoughts on this? And we'll kind of break up into tables of 5 and just have an opportunity for those different business owners to network, get to know one another, share their thoughts and experience. And it's a great way to add more value to the vendors that I do business with, because so much business has come to them through making those connections at those sort of meetings as well.
No, that's fantastic. I've done a lot of networking in my past, but I'll say one thing. I love the book idea. It's almost on point to what Matt and I have a second podcast we're launching called Pursuing Results. And we talk to people like you that are highly successful, and then we talk about that one book that catapulted their business. And how did you come up with this idea for the book review? Dive deep a little bit on a little bit more. We'll dive deeper on that subject matter, because I think that when people start thinking outside the box like this, their wheels are going to start turning when they're watching this show down the road or tonight or whenever it's going to be. How did this come about?
Yeah, good question. I've always been a big reader. I love reading anything kind of business related or just self-improvement in general. And I've also been a huge advocate for coaching my entire career. And during the time years ago when I started it, I was coaching with a coach named Chris Angel. He's got his own coaching consultant company.
Actually, we're partnering with Chris on our new project that we're launching. He's going to be a part of our group.
All right, cool.
Yeah, cool dude.
He is a very cool dude. Great guy. And so we're kind of brainstorming, and his approach is just kind of taking a custom approach, looking at his coaching clients' specific business and what they have. And so we were talking about, all these vendor relationships that I created. How do we really make the most of it? And it was his suggestion. Why don't you bring them all together? And so that's how that all came to be.
So you brought the vendors that you're working with all together, who may or may not know each other, who may or may not be able to benefit from this get together. You come in, you do a book report essentially on a book that's a powerful one that can help each one of these people in their different businesses. Yeah, you do it at a hotel. I'm assuming it's catered by a local restaurant, or the hotel is catering this thing. Is there a cost that you're charging in the attendees to cover any expenses, or just free? It's on your dime.
So it's the hotel for a long time. They did it just to get exposure to all the local businesses, so they didn't charge me for a while on that. And then lunch, I was paying for lunch and all the books for a while. I would buy a copy of the book for everybody that attended as my gift to them. And then over the last year, I got smart that was really adding up. And
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, people were actually asking, like, how can we help? I don't charge any admission for it. We do have sponsors though. So like a lender that I've worked with exclusively for the last decade, he typically helps sponsor part of the event, and then other business owners, throw in a couple bucks here and there to help with paying for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been cool because it's all just come. It isn't even anything that I even asked for them to pay for. They specifically said, hey, how can we really appreciate this is valuable stuff. how can we help support this?
And they jumped on board, and then the rest is history. So, given that you have an out-of-the-box mindset, let's dive deeper in regards to, we know that you have a passion for referrals, and I know that we want to focus on B2B business, the business, development, like we just were talking about. What are some of the other out-of-the-box thoughts or actions that you've done that have resulted in some positive net return to you, either in a business relationship or in getting a client? Because it sounds like you're definitely out of the box type of a guy. Am I right?
Yeah. I would say the Mason Lake one is probably the biggest example that comes to mind. The client care program, that's been really powerful as well. What are some other examples? Partnering with different services. Like, for example, we've got an interior designer that we not just she's not only an interior designer, but she also has an incredible background from design all the way through the build portion of it. So she's a general contractor as well. And so being able to partner with somebody like that, where when we're doing our buyer consultations, we're able to offer that as just one more added benefit of working with the Hauer Group is here's a free hour of time from this interior designer, whether it's for while you're in the home search process. She'll come in and give you some ideas of what you can do with this space, or take out this wall, whatever it might be. Or if it's after you've already closed on the home and now you just want decorating tips or whatever, that's just kind of a complimentary deal, and it's a great way where we're bringing value to our clients to help them, and then we're also bringing value to this design builder because we're introducing her to that many more new prospective clients.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We do something very, very similar. We have a interior designer named Timothy Quinlan. He's actually redoing the interior of my house right now because it looks... Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, we've only done one room so far, but holy God, dude, it looks like a new house. It is so cool. I walk in, I'm like, who lives here? They must have good taste. What I know is clearly not mine, but offering that out as a service is incredibly good. One of the other things that maybe that we've done, and maybe it might work out really well for the 4th of July or for the 3rd of July event that you throw, is keep mine away, damn it. We do custom coasters, and we give them to the local bars here in the area. And, it created a lot of word of mouth for us. And it also created a lot of business for us because people started seeing us and they're like, oh, yeah, well, McDaniel Kelly answered him. Yeah, we should use them. We actually had a guy call us up one day and goes, hey, I want you to list my house. And our team manager, Eileen, goes, okay, well, that sounds great. How did you hear about us? He goes, I've been putting my beer on your face for the last 6 months.
That's funny.
Yes, it was vindication for me because my father and the rest of my team thought I was cuckoo and should be locked away in a psych ward. But it worked, damn it. And so that's why I encourage people, if you have a crazy idea to build a referral-based business, start doing it. Start standing out. Don't be wet cardboard on a rainy day. Nobody fucking wants that. Then you're just going to sit in the corral with the rest of these morons. You know what? Get out. Be fun. Be creative. Would you agree with me, Chad, that one of the biggest things to create a referral-based business, you have to stand out. You have to do something unique. You have to have that little extra something that make people go, ooh, I should call Chad. They should call Greg. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that reminds me. Another out-of-the-box thing that we do is we've got a courtesy cargo trailer. That's another thing that we offer to our clients with Brandon, buy or sell with Chad and move for free.
So, sorry for everybody looking at my junk. Yes, this is not a real moving truck, guys. Yes, we can establish that. But we had 2 of these things, 2 14-foot moving trucks, and we gave them away to all charities, schools, everything else. I mean, imagine a 14-foot version of that. That's scary. But it worked, man. I mean, we haven't had those trucks in 3 or 4 years now. One got in an accident. They played chicken with a building and lost. Yeah, fucking jerk offs, dude. There was a group of people, a charity that was using it, and she took the top right off of the truck. So to get rid of that, and the other one we just sold. But I mean, people was always say to us, "Hey, we see your trucks around all the time." I'm like, "Really? That's interesting. Good for you. They're everywhere." I mean, but they branded. They branded. Did you guys ever do the Zion's little boxy little cars? The Zion XBs.
No.
Dude, and people thought I was batshit when I did this. So I had to go buy the car personally. Then I had to team wrap it with our brand and logo and everything. Got rid of it a number of years ago. Literally last month I was talking to someone like, "Oh yeah, man, I saw your little car the other day." I'm like, "Really? Where was it?" It was really cool. But the branding part, then they start thinking about it. A friend of mine that she saw my Facebook Lives. I want to ask if you guys are doing Facebook Lives yet. But she watches what I do every day on Facebook, live video streams, and she referred a guy that we're going to list his house for about $800,000 just from doing video. Are you guys doing video? A lot of video right now?
We're doing a decent amount of video, yeah, through viral.
Right.
That keep me on pace for actually making sure that I'm getting a video every 2 weeks minimum. And then we've been doing videos for events that were like our client appreciation events that we put on to get the word out and invite our clients to those sort of things.
I want to switch gears here a little bit for you. We're in the second half of our show here. I want to talk to you about your primary marketing area up on the lakes. Now, you said you became the dominant force up there. How did that happen? I know the third happens, but prior to that, what was the progression on that?
It was really, it's kind of funny how it all worked out because, like I said, it was kind of just happened on its own. It wasn't even intentional that it worked out this way. So I was doing all the, fundraising for the fireworks show and all the emails. So I was collecting emails from people all around the neighborhood. I got involved with a couple of the homeowners associations for around the lake. So I could get in front of them, spread the word. This is what we're trying to do. I would get email information from there as well. And so I send out email blasts updating everybody as to what's going on. And all of my emails, it's as simple as my emails are all branded with my custom signature, and links to my website, things like that. So even though I never mentioned anything about real estate per se, people just automatically, there was no way not to know that my full-time job as a real estate agent, I'm just doing this fireworks show as a way to, do something cool within the community. And it was really neat to see how it all worked out. And people just naturally started. You always hear people will work with people they know, like, and trust. So they felt like they knew me well because I was getting involved in this. They liked me because they liked what I was doing, and they trusted me because I had proven multiple years in a row that I was competent to organize and orchestrate and raise funds for this massive project. So if I can do that, I could probably get their household too.
If you can get $25,000 and work with a bunch of different vendors, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can handle the sale of a home.
Yeah. So as people would just say, hey, we've got our house, or we're interested in buying on the lake, or we're interested in selling on the lake, and you just see my signs pop up more and more around the lake, and then it even turned into I would get business totally unrelated to clients or from the lake. It would be like the folks' primary residence that would be, in Tacoma or Big Harbor or Puyallup, Browns Point, whatever it might be. So it was neat just seeing how the trickle down effect from just coming from contribution and really getting involved and finding some sort of situation where you can be that main point of contact that people are aware of. And it wasn't even me just saying, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate every day? It was just being in front of people, and there's kind of that background, the email signatures and everything that people knew I was in real estate.
So let me get this straight. I know this is going to be shocking, but you actually went out and fucking talked to people?
Yeah.
A human being? A human action? Oh my God. No, it still works. So strange. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. So many people are under the belief that you have to go out and just jam shit down people's throats when it comes to buy, sell, invest, rent. What do you want to do? Dude, that's so boring. That is so boring. But if you go out and like what you did, you immerse yourself in the community. You were putting yourself out there, giving your time, your energy, to bring back something that a lot of people have warm or fond memories of, including yourself. And you weren't looking for the business. You were just being a human being, and people will find out what you do. That happened to me on the 4th of July. I was sitting in a pool. My friends are looking to buy. I keep telling them to hold off because it's not a good time for a buyer in our market. Their friends are in the pool. They're like, oh, you sell real estate. Oh, we're looking to buy a bigger home next year. I'm like, great. It's just by word of mouth, but being out and around people. You can buy all the lists, right, Chad? You can buy every single list unknown to mankind. You can do every single drip email that you can ever imagine. But it never trumps just going out and talking to somebody, and going and building a relationship, bringing value. Like I said, know, like, and trust. If you can build, 2 out of 3 of those, if they don't like you, I don't think you got a shot. But as long as they know, like, and trust you, I think you got a pretty good shot at it. But
I don't know. I think there's a lot of dicks in the real estate industry too. Be successful, and it amazes me all the time. So I think you can even get away with people not liking you, but if they don't trust you.
There is this fucking guy, dude. He is. I will never say his name, but he's such a douche. I mean, he invented a new level of douche. It's unbelievable how pompous this guy is, and somehow this dude sells homes. I don't even know how this happens, but it's unbelievable. Anyway, that's focusing on negative. Fuck them. Let's move forward, right? So you've been in the business for 13 years. So you and I had the luxury? No, yeah, luxury, but we definitely had the same experience of going through the crash, right? And I know that that's an obstacle. So what did you do to stay positive through the crash and to kind of keep you going and to get you to where you are now? Chad, are you with me, my friend? I think Chad froze, guys. Let's see if he's going to be with us coming back here in a few more minutes. When he comes back around, guys, what I'll do is I'll tell you a little bit what I did during the crash. As a lot of you guys know, I lost both my homes, both my cars, the woman that I was dating because I didn't make enough money for her, bitch. And I had nothing and nobody to turn to. I went down to $35 down to my name. And so I'm pretty sure when Chad comes back to us, what we're going to hear is, that you had to fight. You had to go out there and you had to struggle. You had to push forward. You have to do things and reinvent yourself in ways that you never thought you'd ever do. I heard a great analogy of this one time that there was an interior decorator and she had a thriving business during the boom. Then the downturn came and she didn't stop her business. She reinvented her business. Instead of going out and getting all of the different new furniture and bringing it in and the whole expensive part, what she did is she took everything out of a house and then put it back into the house in a different way. So that's what I had to do in my business. I had to go and I had to really reinvent myself. So what was I really good at? What could I latch onto, even though everything was being ripped away from me, to get back going again? And one of the things that I really focused in on heavily was my mindset. I invested a lot of time, doing meditation, negative energy releases, reading and listening to positive information. Even those days that were just, fucking sucked, is what I really kind of latched onto. And I started just really kind of coming back into my brain that, yes, you can do this, but it was hard work. Chad, you're back.
Sorry about that.
There you are.
Computer wasn't plugged in. We're good now.
This is tech support. Yeah, I'm having a problem with my computer. Is it turned on, sir? Okay, so I was riffing with folks until you got back with us. But what was your obstacles and staying positive as you went through the downturn, and then how did you get back to where you are today?
Mindset is definitely everything, and I mean there were many points, and I'm sure will continue to be many points where I'll be banging my head against the wall, saying, "Why do I put myself through this?"
Yes.
It's a tough business, and there's a lot of, that was the thing that, I mean, my dad, as much as he wanted me to get in real estate and take over his business, which I didn't do. The reason he didn't want me to get into real estate was just for that very reason, that it can just beat you up and beat you down and you feel so defeated. I would definitely say, I mean, just having a solid foundation of a faith life. I'm definitely a strong man of faith, and knowing like no matter what, you know, when it comes to marriage too, I mean, we've had marriage challenges as well, and my wife and I will both say like, gosh, we can't imagine if we didn't have this strong faith life to be able to say, okay, we can depend on God. If we just put our focus there, no matter what kind of crap is going on around us, just know that it's okay. That may sound kind of like the cliche answer, but definite truth there. And just continue to put one foot in front of the other. There have been so many opportunities where I could have just said, okay, I quit. I'm going to go get a 9-to-5 job. This is not worth it. I'd be making so much more money if I were just at a 9-to-5 job.
Maybe not. Moment, you know? Yeah, during the downturn, you had to pay to go to work. Now,
yeah. And I'm so glad that I even though I've come home just feeling defeated, kept on going. I've in the 13 years I've been in business, there's never been a single year where I didn't make more money than the prior year. So even within the downturn, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And when it feels like it's just getting harder and harder, keep carrying on. And no, I mean, if you focus on fundamental, foundational things within real estate, like what we've been talking about today, a lot of it isn't rocket science, but if you just stick to it, you know, you're going to get through it. It's just a matter of taking massive action and continuing forward with it, not giving up.
I could not agree with you more. You know, I say to people all the time, you have to be persistent and consistent. You know, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to do this tomorrow. If it doesn't work now, well, then I won't go back. No, it's all willy-nilly. You cannot do that. You've got to get down and grind and just grind. And I'm sure you did that like I did, you know, when the downturn took place. I mean, it was those really shitty days when you were exhausted, you were, you know, basically bleeding from every orifice in your body because you've been beat up so bad by every single thing in your entire area. But, you know, there must have been, we're a faith-based team as well. Most people who actually hear that are like, holy Christ, Greg's religious. I'm definitely spiritual, but it is true. You have to depend on something a little bit higher than yourself because you're not as smart as you think you are. You need to have something to help you along the way, right?
Yeah.
So was there a turning point for you? You know, we'll wrap this up here in a few minutes, but I want to, you know, ask you two things actually. What was a turning point for you? When did you see the light at the end of the tunnel? Was it when you started, you know, was it the 3rd of July and people come back and start, you know, trickling the leads to come back to you? Was it working your sphere of influence and seeing people that you know, like, and trust that were then reaching back out to you that you've done business with in the past as, hey, look, you know, we would like to think about buying or selling? Was there a turning point for you?
It's a good question. I don't think that there has necessarily been an aha moment, like I got over the ledge and it's all downhill from here or anything like that. I think it's more so just been one step at a time. Never been like instant success by any means. Just continue to go. And if anything, I would say that's absolutely crucial that I have to continue to go that way. It's not like, okay, now that, you know, we're selling all these homes every year and have a great reputation, I can just sit back and let the money and business come in, because I know that's not the case either. It never fails. If I am, whether it's, you know, due to personal, you know, being overwhelmed, like with moving or whatever it might be, or just being overwhelmed with the amount of volume of business and hiring and training, and it's keeping me from getting out there and doing the productive activities, I'll notice my business will definitely go down as a result of that. So it's just all about consistency, continue to put one foot in front of the other. And I don't think that there has been just it all clicked for me by any means.
So you are just like me and every other successful real estate agent out there. There's no such thing as the easy button, but you had the will and resolve to keep pushing forward on those bad, horrible days, the days that your bones were crushed and ground up and your meat was put through a meat grinder and everything else. But you came at it unscathed. So here's one of my last questions for you. You know, what are some things? What's the one question that you've never been asked, but you think you should be asked more often about building a referral business?
Good question.
That's 3 good questions in a row. I'm on a roll.
One question that nobody's asked me, but they should.
Yeah, either starting it, building it, maybe selling it, anything in there. Because I mean, a referral-based business. A lot of agents, when a new agent hears like, oh, it's a referral-based business, I don't do any prospecting from senior agents. They're all like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, that means I don't have to do a cold call. But that's not necessarily what it means, is it?
No. I think the question that you just asked is probably the one, like, when was the tipping point? I think that's the question. Like, at what point can I really just, sit back and relax? And I don't think that that's really how real estate works. It's, be out there, be in action, and you're gonna do great. And it's what I love about real estate too. It forces me to always, be on my toes and continue to grow, continue to be learning, doing things like this where just I would be so much less, I wouldn't be nearly as rounded and developed as I am, and I still have a long way to go by any means. But it's because of this industry and knowing that I don't have I can plan on my paycheck coming in every 2 weeks, the exact same amount or whatever, that forces me and keeps me on edge to constantly be growing and improving. And I think it's a great thing.
I love it myself. Okay, I came up with the last question for you. This is not you're not going to see this one coming, but it's going to be an easy one for you. You like to continue and grow just like I do. Give me 1 to 2 resources or sites that are your go-to to get information.
Well, Darren Hardy Daily.
Yep, I love that.
That's a great one. As far as just books in general for anybody that might be listening to this real estate related, I'm a huge advocate of 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer. I coached with Michael for a couple of years. Really solid, just fundamental stuff that works well. And oh gosh, there's so many.
Totally put you on the spot, but I mean, your brain's like going blank because you're like, there's so many different places to go and get information, right?
Yeah. Where
do you have audible.com by chance?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Have you played with channels yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, go to Audible, guys. Listen, it's audible.com. It's an app on your phone. There's a new aspect of it. It's called channels. You go to channels and it has like leadership, comedy, innovation, all these different sections in there. And then you can listen to articles being read to you by like the Harvard Business Times and a bunch of other publications. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal. Free if you're part of I don't know if you just have to have the app or whatever, but it's very much well worth it. So, okay, my friend, how can people get in touch with you if they got referrals or, if they just want to hang out and chat with you? I mean, I'm totally giving away your time, but, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, please do. Email is great, chad@chadhauer.com. Hauer is spelled Hauer. It's like Eddie Bauer with a H instead of a B. So chad@chadhauer.com, or you can call 253-377-3039. That's 253-377-3039. I do not get text messages at that number, just as a heads up. That's my main team number. Yeah, those are the best 2 ways.
The coolest thing is, man, right behind you on that other side is your last name, perfectly legible.
Oh, yeah.
That's the coolest thing. Okay, guys, hey, we have another couple great shows coming up next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Matt is back. Our schedule is back as it always is. So there's no more, being stuck in a show hole and not being able to get your fix at Real Estate Uncensored. And we've got some amazing guests, you guys. We are so excited to bring them on. And keep in mind, guys, the McDaniel Challenge, it is going strong. My next availability is September 13th. And some of you are like, what the fuck is a McDaniel Challenge? Well, guys, it's an opportunity to spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours together doing free, big capital letters, okay? Free coaching. Book your time up now, guys. I have so many fun, stories to talk about with the folks that do it, but we're going to talk about anything that's going to stop you, blocking you, or hindering you from getting you where you want to be, marketing, prospecting, mindset, whatever. All right, we'll build you something custom by the end of it and put you guys back out there in the field to go make the money that you deserve. You can reach me on my cell phone. This is my cell phone. Wait, hold on. Does it work? Did I pay my bill? Yeah, it works. Call me. People are amazed. I will call them back. It's stunning, but it does happen. Best phone number for me, guys, that is on that little thing called a cell phone, 925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978. Take the McDaniel Challenge. Next opportunity is the 13th of September. So on that note, guys, we're going to wrap this thing up with a pretty little bow, and we're going to send it out into the world of YouTube. Guys, I love you. I truly want to see you succeed. That's why Matt and I do this show. Please reach out and communicate with us. We love hearing from you. We want to, see you guys get where you want to be in the shortest amount of time. So with that, you guys, again, I love you. I appreciate you. We wouldn't be here without you. And we look forward to meeting more of you guys. So until then, have a good one.